Hello friends, it is about that time of year, so let's go for some of my fall knitting plans. So, little disclaimer, I do live in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it is very hot. So it is the end of September. We did go to Little Rock Oktoberfest just yesterday. The high was 93, and today the high cooled down a little bit to 87. So it is still very, very toasty hot. I am in my Streamline tank by Two of Wands. We are still in the middle of some toasty warm weather, so these are not plans that I am making because it is super chilly and in the mood to make, but I will probably be done with at least one or two by the time it does cool down, and I will be super excited to wear the brand new make that I have made when it does actually cool down. So this video is going to detail my 10 ideas and getting down to the patterns of what I am actually planning on making for this fall. First, I feel like is the default fall vibes that everybody wants to go to is the top-down circular yoke colorwork Fair Isle sweater. I am choosing to do a foxes one. I think mine is wee foxes that I chose to do. The Wanderer, I really do like the pine tree motif on it, but for some reason the leaves on this one just were really calling to me at the time, so that's the one that I am choosing to go with. And this is actually the only one that I've cast on with this Lions brand fisherman's wool that I have had in my stash for a couple of years. I did have to do a stash enhancement though, because it has a little bit of detailing in a dark color, and I didn't have any dark colors in my stash that I really liked, so I got another ball of Lion brand fisherman wool, and it is caked up like this because I got the darkest color that they had, which was a natural brown, and I still didn't think that it was quite dark enough for what I wanted, so I dyed over the dark natural brown to kind of make a little bit closer to black. It's not black, but it is espresso bean color, I guess. And I do anticipate needing to buy another Lions brand fisherman wool for the body of the sweater, but hopefully only the one more ball. So yeah, number 1 on the list is one of those classic colorwork top-down sweaters. Number 2 on the list is something that is seems to be very trendy on the fashion circles now, is a sweater dress. Specifically, once again, because I am a little bit more towards the vintage-ish look. I saw Penny Heartbleed in the Oh My Figure dress, and I have not been able to get that out of my head. I think that I want that dress in my life. I saw her wearing it, saw that she knitted it, and thought that is going to take so much time, and she said, well, it's DK weight, so it's really not that bad. And it's like, I might be able to do that. So I am going to be doing the Oh My Figure dress, but I am probably going to be doing the extra small in the Patton's Classic Worsted, because I have 7 balls of this color in my stash and I really need to get that down. And worsted is just a step above DK, so hopefully that'll just puff it up a little bit. I think that I'm veering a little bit more towards needing smalls instead of extra smalls, but that might just be wishful thinking, you know? Other great options to knit as a sweater dress. This kind of has that same ribbing effect that I really liked on the Oh My Figure, that just kind of hugs you in, but this one is in bulky. The bulky that I think that I have in my stash for a dress is a single ply homespun, so it's a little bit thick and thin, but closer to the bulky end, and I just was not comfortable using that as my first sweater dress endeavor, but that is really cute. Another idea for a sweater dress, I saw, I think about this time last year, that somebody test knit a sweater dress for Fable Knitwear, and once again, Fable Knitwear with the vaguely vintage vibes. She does amazing work, and I have been looking and waiting for that sweater dress pattern to come out. Just whenever she is ready, I will probably buy it and cast it on impulsively immediately. But yeah, idea number 2 that I think that would be really good to knit this season would be a sweater dress. Hey babe, what you doing?
We didn't know why Penny was itchy.
Penny had fleas.
A lot of bites.
A lot of bites. Are you being a nightmare? Come here. Why don't you help me? You poor baby, you had a flea? You had a flea? Your flea was harassing you? That's terrible. This is why you are forbidden from having flea friends. So number 3, I guess the overarching idea is to join a knit along, but more specifically, this one is one of the Ranunculus knit alongs. I know that there are like 3 Ranunculus knit alongs going on right now, just because it is one of those patterns that you take a formula and you can adjust it for thick yarn, thin yarn, summer yarn, winter yarn, and that does allow us to include people from the southern hemisphere as well. You are being so good. So yeah, number 3 might just be join a cow, knit the Ranunculus, or knit with friends. Either one of those would be great ways to achieve that goal. Goal number 4 would be a little bit more niche to my personal style, which would be knit a vintage pattern. I did get the Victory jumper, which is a free download on Ravelry, but that is not the only vintage knit that I have. I have like the rainbow jumper, the chevron jumper. I think if you look at Retro Claude's channel, she has a bunch of great options that are just really nice vintage knits, and I think part of it is that I am currently coming over my fear of knitting with fingering weight yarn, but I think the Victory jumper will definitely work within my style, especially if I choose the right colors and help me stash bust. This is some nature spun that I showed off in my last video where I showed off a haul, but I do not like this shade of blue. I do not like a lot of blues. This is a very blue shade. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to over dye it to be a little bit closer to the green than the turquoise and a bit darker. I can dye and use 2 balls of this yarn, and that is all of the yarn that will exist. I am making the challenge more challenging if I choose to do that, but that is something that I have decided that I am going to partake in. She's still here, by the way. She's just hiding. Oh, you have arisen. Number 5 on the goals is to experiment with cables. I have never done cables before, but I'm thinking that I have a sock yarn that would look really nice cabled up. Oh my goodness, Panu. And I think that socks are probably one of the easier ways to start experimenting with cables. I mean, it's not the huge commitment of a sweater that everyone's going to be able to see all of your cables. If your cables look kind of questionable, at least when you starting off, especially if I'm doing toe up socks, then they're going to be hidden. So I'm going to say goal number 5 is cables, and I'm going to achieve that by making kind of just an improv or drops design toe up cable sock. Number 6 on the fall knitting goals is I would like to make a hat. I think that is a pretty common goal for most knitters, is some sort of accessory hat type wear, but I think that I have a yarn that I think would look really nice in a beret. It is a variegated yarn with a lot of different splotches of colors, and I think that I just want to show that off in my style. Once again, being a little bit vintagey is more conducive to a beret than like a beanie like the Muscle Burrow or the Oslo hat or something. So I think that a beanie would be something that I could make for me that kind of shows off a single special skein pretty well. Number 7 on my knitting goals would be a cropped lace sweater. What I am planning on using is the Lotus Lake Tea by Anna Juti Knits because I test knit that. I already am familiar with the pattern and I kind of like that. I think that it would translate really well. Do you know any other patterns that would have like maybe some lace for fall? Like the Magnolia Bloom would have some lace. Yeah, the Florencia tee. Yeah, that's a little lacy because it's got those little triangles. Are we just gonna like put some ideas of lacy knits for fall right above your little noggin? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, what are you thinking? So yeah, I plan on making that Lotus Lake Tea sweater version with the leftovers of the Lion's brand fisherman's wool that I overdyed to kind of just get that espresso bean chocolatey color. I don't know. I think that's just kind of where I'm feeling a little bit more drawn to right now, is a little bit of the dark color. There's a little bit of spooky girl roots, and that's definitely not just because a pretty girl told me that I look good in black recently. So yeah, something with lace would be goal number 7. Goal number 8 is a simple cardigan. I am currently looking at the Espace Tricot Macaron Cardigan because I really liked the kind of relaxed crop of the cardigan, plus the balloon sleeve. I thought that it really suited my vibe, and I would like to do that in stash busting some of my Karen Simply Soft Black, but this project is so low on my top 10s because I am currently using some of my Karen Simply Soft in black on a project for another person as a Christmas knit, and boy howdy, I do not like knitting with Karen Simply Soft yarn. It feels very plasticky, very squeaky, and I'm just going to need to get those Christmas presents done, regroup mentally, make sure that I still do have enough, and actually get that mental fortitude to start on a Karen Simply Soft project again. Petite Knit has a million simple cardigans. My favorite thing, Knitwear, I think has a couple simple cardigans. It's just kind of like one of those fall staples that you can use whatever yarn that you like, fits your vibe, to fit into your styles as a timeless classic piece that you will wear over and over and over again. I just, of course, want to do it in a material that I can throw into the wash a million times and is black. Oh, you are stuck in my shirt, aren't you? You are stuck in my shirt. Would you like to tell them all about goal number 9? Because goal number 9 is for Penny. It's for Penny? Yeah. Bye-bye. Goal number 9 is to make my dog's sweaters. I have 3 pugs, and if you are familiar with pugs, they have no neck. They have a little head, or at least they are supposed to have a little noggin. No neck, just goes straight to linebacker shoulders, and then a little butt. So like the reverse hourglass figure is what the pug is supposed to have. That means that it is difficult to find dog sweaters that fit them. Another thing about pugs, specifically Bear is very finicky. If he is too cold, he does not want to go outside. He is having none of that. He hears me trash talking him and is giving me a sad look. So another way that I think that would be a great way for me to get some stash down projects using is with this pug dog sweater that I got on Ravelry. It was a free download on Ravelry, and I think since this person made this dog sweater specifically for pugs, hopefully it will fit the Irwin, the Bear, and the Penny. So out of knitting goals, that is very low on the priority list, but it does still exist. Goal number 10, which I think might be a little bit more obscure and vary from person to person. I want to knit something that made me want to knit in the first place. This specific thing, I think I'm going to assign Rizzo top by Poison Girl Knits. I saw that somebody on Instagram just knit this top and just thought that is amazing, that knitting is witchcraft. How can you just take yarn and make this one amazing thing? Like, it seemed just incredible. Another thing could potentially be knitting socks, but specifically the Patton's dragon fruit socks. And that was the thing that made me be vaguely interested in the concept of knitting too. I need to learn how to knit to make socks. Which, but like what is one of the things that got you interested in knitting or whatever your craft is? And what do you think about these goals? What are your plans to knit this upcoming cold weather season? Let me know down below with any questions, comments, or concerns. New videos should be up on Fridays, but not every Friday though. So feel free to like this video, subscribe, and ring that little bell icon so you know when I actually do post. Thank you so much for watching. Like always, stay happy, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time. Bye. I'm orange. Why am I orange? Okay.
Oh my goodness, you're being such a good co-host.
I just slide straight to your little black mask.
You can't pull my shirt down when I'm recording.
That's not this kind of channel. I am not a Twitch streamer, silly girl. Maybe you aren't a good co-host. Comment down below if you think Penny's a good co-host. Are you okay? Did you give your head... You bumped your head again. Are you doing this on purpose? Please stop hitting your noggin.
It hurts my feelings when you hit your noggin.